All we can say is wow, wow, wow. What an experience. The reimagined Dempsey Challenge. Amazing to look back to where we started and to be all the way here celebrating our incredible weekend. It is a little surreal. Hi, everybody. I'm Lee Nelson from New Center, Maine, also a proud member of the board of directors of the Dempsey Center, along with International Man of Mystery, endurance athlete, ultra marathoner, one of the top fundraisers, marketing person for the Dempsey Center too. He wears a lot of hats. Travis McKenzie. What a weekend, huh?
Wow, Lee, that was a weekend, and that was an introduction. Thank you so much for that. I'm so happy to be here, and you're right. It was an absolutely incredible weekend, and I'm so glad to be here to celebrate with all of you.
Yeah, now this is our Dempsey Center community's strongest. It's just been incredible. Early on, we did understand that cancer's not going to stop because of COVID, and we knew that the challenge was so incredibly important. So you see, we had to find a way, and we did. So for those of you who are joining the challenge for the first time this year, welcome. Since the moment we announced that the Challenge 2020 would be held virtually, the response has really been overwhelming.
Yeah, it truly has. And the opportunity for us to open up the Dempsey Challenge to a global audience has been truly amazing. And this year we welcomed 2,800 registered participants representing all 50 states and 45 countries from around the world, and they joined us for the Reimagined Challenge. But Lee, that's not all. We've also had thousands of participants from around the globe take on our Strava Challenge, as well as our virtual rides on Zwift, which we'll hear a little bit more about. There's also people who are now connected to the mission of the Dempsey Center, and it gives us a great platform to continue raising the profile of our organisation and to connect with like-minded cancer centres around the world. Now, Lee, I'm sure you remember our friend Serena from Italy.
How could I not?
She's visited us at the Challenge many times before and was instrumental in supporting our global outreach as soon as we announced that we would be hosting this year's Challenge virtually. Now, Serena and I caught up earlier this week, but given the time difference, it was very early for me, and I'll warn you right now, my Aroma Joes hadn't kicked in quite yet. Let's take a look.
Serena, welcome. Can you tell me how you first learned of the challenge and when you first came to visit us in Maine, and tell me a little bit more about your background with the challenge?
So I discovered the Dempsey Challenge because I discovered the center. Because unfortunately my father had the lung cancer, and he's oncologist here in my hometown of Bergamo. He was from Boston, and he was here for an exchange, a doctor exchange. So since my father's situation was worsening, he suggested us a trial in the USA, so in Boston. And he also gave us some reference of centers which we could use to, support my father, but also us as a family. And the Dempsey Center had just opened then, and I remember I sent an email, and someone answered me because I was very worried because, I was Italian, so I didn't know if the services were open also to other people. And they just told me, sure, if you need, you can come and we can take care of you.
You've been such a great supporter in helping us spread the word within your community. Tell me a little bit about how you've approached that this year, knowing that it is a global challenge. We have many people from around the world. Tell me about your approach in these times and in these circumstances.
This year, I started to train, and many people were like, oh, what are you doing now? And I was like, you can join because you are all on Strava. We have a great passion for cyclism here in my hometown. And so we made this group, and we went out training, and I invited them to join the Dempsey Challenge on Strava so we could go out all together. And it was very nice because it may also help people to see, even if we look very far, but people who are impacted by cancer know that the world becomes smaller. Because there are a lot of people who travel to find care, and the US is always seen as a point of reference when we come to research. So they were, it was very easy to involve them because it was like a door which opened on a different reality, and it was very, very nice.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Serena. Fantastic to see the support from all around the world in this Reimagine Challenge. People were able to participate in a whole lot of ways here, too. So this year we obviously had people on bicycles, but we also had them on kayaks. We had folks running, walking, paddleboarding, hand cycling, you name it, somebody was out there doing it.
Yeah, it's so true. And I had a front row seat to the social media channels, so I was able to see the creativity of our participants, and it was like nothing I've seen before. One of the highlights for me was seeing Bonnie Patchell. She took on Maine's tallest and toughest hike. She summited Mount Katahdin. She also, as sadly, she took on this adventure in memory of her father and her brother and her sister, who all lost their battle with cancer. She also hiked in celebration of her sister Sharon, who is a cancer survivor, and happy to say that today is Sharon's birthday.
Wow, happy birthday, Sharon. Happy birthday. And congratulations, too, to Bonnie on that amazing hike up Katahdin. Nice way to reimagine the challenge. Speaking of creativity, one of our top fundraisers, Dennis Richardson, motivated his group, family and friends, to donate with a challenge he called the Pink Tutu Challenge. Okay, check this out. Here it is. Now, for every $10 donated, he committed to riding a mile in a pink tutu on his 100-mile ride, and his creativity paid off, and this has raised more than $11,500 himself, with his team Be the Miracle bringing in an astounding $52,000. And I wanted to mention that Travis is also one of the top fundraisers, and you took on a pretty amazing challenge too, raising awareness about cancer and the Dempsey Center, and it's called the Calendar Club, and it's an unbelievable challenge.
Yeah, Lee, when I joined the team in June earlier this year, I really wanted to put my money where my mouth was and raise some funds in a funny way, and do it to support the center. So I took on the Calendar Club. And what that means is you run the amount of miles corresponding to the day on the calendar. So July 1st, 1 mile, July 2nd, 2 miles, all the way up to July 31 miles, 496 miles in the month. And I was able to share my journey on social media, and I received so many amazing messages of support and so many generous donations as well. And I'm grateful to have been able to give back to the center and the cause while pounding the pavement. I've also learned through that process that so many people also have their own reason for participating in the challenge. And earlier this month, we asked all of you to share your why with us. So why do you take on the Dempsey Challenge? And with that, we received so many moving and inspiring messages. Let's take a look.
My why. Why do I do this?
I ride because I don't remember a time that I didn't know about cancer.
I do it in honor of my dad. He passed away from leukemia.
My grandmother who lost her battle with cancer, and I will bring her with me on my Run Dempsey Challenge weekend.
So many people struggle with cancer, and the Dempsey Center's mission is to make life better.
Years ago, my family went through a cancer crisis, and with the help of the staff and volunteers, they helped navigate through the incredible journey.
A cancer journey is scary and sometimes lonely, but when we get together on Challenge Weekend and when you walk through the door of the Dempsey Center, you know you're not alone.
I will be walking because of my granddad, who died from liver cancer.
In memory of my father, who passed away in May of 2019 of leukemia.
My mom was the strongest person I have ever known, but she lost control late in her life, and that was as frustrating as fighting the cancer.
The type of work that's being done here in other like-minded centers around the country and around the world, it's what happens and what should happen as soon as you're diagnosed.
I am so proud that we have a Dempsey Center, that we're doing the work we're doing.
I ride for the Dempsey Center because I really care about my community.
It's not treatment from cancer, it's healing from treatment.
I ride for my friends and family whose lives have been impacted by cancer.
And I'll be biking in honor of those who have and will benefit from this incredible initiative.
If I can give back even just a little bit, doing a 5K run, it's a start. Everybody's going to have their own personal reasons to participate. Find that reason and support the Dempsey Center, participate in the Dempsey Challenge.
I believe that we can all draw strength from each other and our communities.
No one should have to go through a cancer diagnosis or a journey alone.
Get out there, celebrate your body, and do it for someone else that might not be able to.
That's why I do it. That's why I run.
And that's why I do it.
Are you guys ready to run? Yeah! Let's go!
Yeah, so inspiring to see. So thank you to everybody for sending in those videos. And as we continue to reflect on what an amazing weekend we have experienced, we want to bring in some special guests for you. I want to introduce you to Wendy Tardif, who is the Executive Director of the Dempsey Center, and of course Patrick Dempsey, the founder of the Dempsey Center. Hey guys, how you doing?
We're doing great today. Great job, by the way. Aren't they doing a great job over there?
Awesome.
I love listening to you guys.
It's so fun.
So inspiring, too.
It's time for us to listen to you a little bit. So Patrick, it's been quite a weekend. Why don't you tell us how you're feeling?
I'm feeling great. I'm really inspired, and I'm very moved by everyone's efforts to be able to pivot, to make this possible, and to have the success that we've had. I'm not sure any of us thought we could do this when February was here. You know,
Right.
we're really nervous, but the team rallied and really has done a remarkable job, and it just makes you want to work harder, and it just is so inspiring. And I'm just happy to be a part of the team, you know, and all of you have been great to be with, and I'm glad I'm here this weekend. We had a great event yesterday, and as you can see, with the technology, it is a silver lining because we're getting to see everybody's perspective on this and how they've contributed, and it's very moving. And you see the work that's being done is so important and so vital. And thank God for all of our sponsors and, you know, the work that's been done here with the staff. You have to be so pleased with everybody.
Right. They pivoted so well in March when COVID struck, and just everybody's working remotely, and they created all the virtual programs and services pretty much that we were doing in the center at the time, and are still offering now. And you know, we talk about silver linings all the time, right, about COVID, and our silver lining for sure is that now we have the virtual center, which is our third Dempsey Center that's available to everybody, and that's not going to go away.
No, and it's something we've been talking about for years. I mean, within the last 5 years, we were always, how can we improve our ability to reach people online and use the technology that's available to us? And this has really forced us to really lean into that. And you know, someone once said to me very long ago, the obstacle, what is in the way is the way. And our way was, how do we communicate? How do we put this on? And we found a way. I mean, a lot of hard work went into it, a lot of team effort, a lot of people from around the world made it possible. But look what happens when you work together.
That's right.
And as
That's
a team,
right.
you can get stuff done.
And now we have Dempsey Connects, right?
Right.
And thank you to all our fundraisers for making that happen as well, and keeping all of our services at no cost here at the Dempsey Center.
Absolutely. And
It's
we're going to need that
phenomenal.
more than ever, I think, going into the winter. I think with everything that's going on, I'm deeply concerned about what's going to happen. But I feel like, okay, we're in a position to help people when we can, and to listen to the community and go, what do we need to help you with?
Absolutely, yeah. We're looking forward to seeing just how we can raise that needle until Wednesday for our fundraising for the Dempsey
That's
Challenge.
right. We still got a few more
right?
days. So we want to hit our goal is 1.5 this year. We're almost there. So we've got some good programs out there with Poland Springs and the matching and all that stuff. So we're looking forward to it. We'll see what we can do. Let's get that number.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned, Patrick, the event yesterday. I had the pleasure / pain of riding with you virtually during that incredible Zwift event yesterday. How was that? That was really cool, wasn't it?
I loved it. And you know, what a great way to train. And certainly, even with Dennis, he's like, that was a hard workout. I had no idea how hard it was going to be. But you see the dividends in the springtime, certainly here. You know, it's safer in the winter to train. The technology was an opportunity for us to spread the message around the world. And we achieved that. And I'm looking forward to using that more. And I think we're going to incorporate that in the future. It's going to be part of our component for raising awareness and also raising money and just getting, you know, promoting a healthy lifestyle was a great way for people to get out there and be active. And then you felt that sense of community that you get on a group ride that's so fun. It was racy at times, it was funny at times, and it was certainly painful at times, which is all you want in a ride like that.
Patrick, it was so good to see you engaging with the other riders. You were having an amazing time. You were able to share the story and the mission of the centre. We had over 5,000 people take part on Zwift over the weekend in the virtual challenge, and it really did look like you were having a good time.
I loved it, and you guys did a great job calling the race too. I think it gave it the atmosphere that you get at the Tour. It was also the technology that they had the Tour de France this year with, so it's really nice to see. We hear a lot of negative things about technology. It's nice to know you can use it for something positive, and it's really transformational for so many people, and it's great to be a part of that.
It was a lot of fun. Now, Wendy, you mentioned and talked about the Dempsey Centre and the Dempsey team being able to transition and continue to provide those services in the new virtual world. Why don't you give us a little bit more detail on how our clients were able to adapt and our staff were able to adapt during that time?
Sure. So our staff adapted very quickly to creating all virtual services. And our clients have been so grateful about what those services are that they've been able to partake in. So things like our support groups, we're doing individual nutrition and fitness counseling, we're doing behavioral health counseling for clients as well, one-on-one with our psychosocial staff. We're able to do several different classes and workshops around fitness, cooking classes, self-massage, acupressure. It kind of goes on and on. And our clients have been so grateful and thankful for everything that we've been able to do to make their lives better during this really difficult time when they're so isolated,
right,
because they're immunocompromised and it's difficult for them to get out. And so they just feel so connected to the classes that we're doing and the people that are in them.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I got to drop into one of the support groups, and it was really nice to listen to the feedback and to understand what's working and what isn't. And I think that was the big thing. It's like, it's nice to have that sense of community. Even though we can't be there in person, we are there, and that's nice to see.
Yeah, and then the men's group that we just started, the Man Up to Cancer group, which is really exciting. Just 2 weeks in the running now, but we're really excited about getting that up and running even bigger than what it is right now for a support group for men.
Well, Wendy, I appreciate you. I appreciate the work you do, and especially your ability to lead with grace through this difficult transition. Now, I want to hear a little bit more from our staff and our clients about their experience utilizing online and remote services over the last few months. Let's take a look.
Our classes are designed specifically to meet the needs of our clients with a cancer diagnosis. They are open to all clients of the Dempsey Center. Everybody really takes in what it is that they need from the class. When class is done, we have conversations, we connect, we engage. It's almost like a support group in and of itself. And then folks go off and do their day. It has changed, but it hasn't changed. I'm still doing the work that I did prior to COVID, but now I'm just doing it virtually.
When it came out that they were going to do some online virtual things, I was so happy, so excited, because I'm a people person and I missed people, and that was the first thing, the first outreach that allowed me to see other people, and people I knew from having gone a few times and people I didn't know that I got to meet. So I was very grateful that we have the technology to do things like that and that they were offering those classes.
The cooking classes online have really been okay. They're fun. They're still interactive because I have a moderator who, brings me questions from the audience. So the audience gets to be very engaged, and honestly, I've been able to reach more people because there are a lot of people who choose not to come to the center, COVID or no COVID. Their immune system is compromised and they're a little bit nervous about coming to the center. So now they can still be part of a nutrition class and be engaged, but in the comfort of their own home. So in the end, everything has really worked out okay.
You can access support groups, you can access Tai Chi, nutrition consultations, and just all the pieces that you have no understanding of how fundamental they are to you and your family. until you're in the middle of it. And that's what the Dempsey Center is offering.
The silver lining is that we now can provide our services virtually. So for those clients who cannot get to us physically, do not feel comfortable coming back to us, we can continue to provide our services to them. We have the best of both worlds. So although I'm really anxious to meet and greet our clients through our doors again, because there's nothing like walking through the doors of the Dempsey Center. There's just a feeling that you get. But I still think we've been able to provide that virtually. And our clients are feeling it. So I know even if a client doesn't walk through our doors, they will continue to feel that comfort through our virtual services. So we've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, what a journey it has been, and it is not over. And it's also wonderful to see how the Dempsey Center has been able to continue to make life better for people impacted by cancer. And of course, a reminder, Wendy said it a little earlier, but it's worth repeating, all the services, all the programs at the Dempsey Center are provided at no cost to anybody, everybody impacted by a cancer diagnosis. And as the primary fundraiser, the Dempsey Challenge is essential for us to continue to be able to offer these services to whoever needs them. It is safe to say that we could not do this without you out there. You made it happen. So here is a heartfelt thank you.
Yeah, that's right, Lee. We could not do the important work without our amazing fundraisers. And the Dempsey Challenge couldn't happen without the support of our partners and our sponsors. And one partner in particular has been with us from the beginning. 12 years of incredible support. And that partner is Amgen Oncology. As the presenting sponsor of the Dempsey Challenge, the team at Amgen continue their support. They rolled up their sleeves and they helped us to bring this virtual challenge to life. And earlier this week, I caught up with Brad Berrigan to discuss this year's reimagined Dempsey Challenge. Let's take a look. Welcome, Brad. I'm so excited to be chatting to you. We're leading up into Dempsey Challenge weekend, obviously reimagined for 2020. Tell me about what you're planning to do this weekend and what activities you're planning on taking on here.
Sure, Travis. Hey, first of all, great to be with you, and really looking forward to this weekend's Dempsey Challenge. So, looking back over the past several months of planning towards this weekend, that we've definitely come a long way. To see where we are today heading into the weekend, it's really with great excitement that we look to kind of flip this Dempsey Challenge on its head as we pivoted to a virtual setting. And really what I've found is it's been a great opportunity to really engage an entire collection of folks that might not have known, first of all, about the Dempsey Center previously, or been able to travel to the greater Maine area for the event this weekend. So I can tell you a little bit about what I have planned for this weekend. Planning a run for Saturday, and then I have a small group that we're going to put in 100 miles on our bike for Sunday as well.
Tell me a little bit about Amgen's connection to the challenge. We have a long history together right from the very first challenge 12 years ago. Tell me a little bit about that history and how meaningful it is for Amgen to be a part of the Dempsey Challenge and support the work of the Dempsey Center.
Sure. Actually, 2020 marks our 12th consecutive year as a presenting sponsor of the Dempsey Challenge. And Amgen has a long-standing relationship really with Patrick Dempsey and the Dempsey Centers. And I think we've heard Patrick reference that his relationship with Amgen actually started around the tour of California about 14 years ago. And as Patrick and family really started the Dempsey Center, it was just a great partnership and relationship, just knowing that we were both focused on positively impacting patients and families dealing with a cancer diagnosis.
Now, another big part of Challenge Weekend that we really love and celebrate is our Survivor Walk. And given the challenges this year, we're unable to do that, but we reimagined the Survivor Walk as well and created the Survivor Drive, an opportunity for our cancer survivors in the community to drive by our centers, see some beautiful decoration and creativity, and really take that as a moment of pause, a moment of remembrance, but also a moment of celebration for what they've been through, and an opportunity for them to know that even though we're not there together physically, in spirit, and in community, we are still all together.
Yes, and last year was my first live survivor walk, and definitely a moving moment. And Travis, just like you framed up, it was a great opportunity to honor those that have fought over the years with so much dignity, and also to acknowledge that several folks within the community and just extending, in this case, around the world, continue to keep up that good fight for us to pay our respect and acknowledge what patients and families might be going through, and in a moment of solidarity, pay our respects to them.
It's been amazing to work with you. The partnership from Amgen is one that we couldn't do without, so really appreciate that work. And I wish you all the best for your weekend activities. Best of luck, safety, and joy to your team, and thank you so much for your support.
Travis, thank you for having me. And I'll just say, on behalf of Amgen Oncology, it has been our absolute pleasure to work with the Dempsey Center on this year's Dempsey Challenge.
What a guy. Now, Brad is actually out doing his 100-mile as we speak, so that's why he couldn't join us live. But Brad, thank you so much for adding those miles to our total and helping us get that much closer to our goal of moving 1.5 million miles as a community this weekend.
Crazy. Awesome. Let's hope they're hydrating out there. Hey, we want to introduce somebody else who has been just crucial in the formation of the Dempsey Center and the running of the Dempsey Center in years past. You may recognize her. You've probably heard her if you've been to the challenge before. Patrick's sister, Mary. Mary, glad to have you with us. Hi.
Great to have her here.
Hoping that the two of you can talk a little bit more about this long-running Amgen relationship, because it's been pretty darn important, hasn't it?
It sure has. So I will start off by saying that, we couldn't do everything that we've done without the relationship with them. It's gone on for 14 years.
And you see the level of commitment from Brad, and also that picture you saw with him. Those are people who have been employees and have now since moved on, but they're still committed to the mission. And everybody, and I live close to the campus in Amgen, and I know that everybody is personally committed not only to the challenge, but to the work that they're doing, and we can feel that. And had it not been for the Breakaway from Cancer initiative, I don't think we'd be sitting here today. So this community, me personally, I can't thank them enough, because they make it possible for us to do this, and they believe in us, and they keep supporting, and they keep growing with us, and they keep inspiring us. And it's remarkable, isn't it?
Right. And they've also become friends.
Yes.
Friends of the family, friends of the center.
Friends of the community.
Community. So we look forward to seeing each other every year.
Now, Patrick, I know you're keen to hear some of the numbers that are coming out of the Dempsey Challenge presented by Amgen Oncology that we hosted on Strava throughout September. Are you ready for this? We had 120,000 people take on that challenge, and we also had our community ride, run, swim, walk, and hike more than 30 million miles and over 2.2 million miles this challenge weekend. Absolutely mind-blowing. Patrick, tell us what you think about, and I can see your reaction, so I already guess, this incredible participation.
Well, first, I'm overwhelmed by a lot of emotion. It brings up so much emotion, because I got goosebumps when you mentioned that. You think of how many people have been affected by cancer, how important this mission is, that, to complement the work that's being done with Amgen, with the science, and also understanding the psychological and the emotional aspect, and bringing that all together in spreading the message, and everyone will spread that message even more now. So I think it's a huge success, considering what we've overcome this year, and just really moving and humbling to see and to hear.
Now, each year in the park, when we're there live, the Amanda Dempsey Award is presented in honor of your mom. And so, Ari, I'm wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the award, and also just how important it is to your family.
Sure. So the Amanda Dempsey Award was started right when Mom was still here, and she was a very gentle, quiet soul who gave back a lot to her community. And we wanted to start an award where not only she could be remembered, but other people could have an award to represent what they were doing to give back while they were going through their own cancer journey.
And honor them.
And honor them. Exactly. And I would love to talk about our award winner. And the Amanda Dempsey Award was named in memory now of Amanda Dempsey. And the award was presented to a cancer survivor who had the passion for helping other Mainers with cancer. Although Amanda was reserved, humble, and had a warm presence, she was passionate about giving back to her community. The Dempsey family wanted to keep her memory alive, not only with the work of the centers, but with this award. The first award was given out in 2009. There have been 11 recipients of this award thus far, with our 12th recipient, Jonathan Henry of Bangor, Maine. John was only 44 years old when he was diagnosed with prostate cancer for the first time. Soon in his recovery, he suffered a brain aneurysm, and 3 years ago had a recurrence of his prostate cancer. Although it's been over 10 years since his initial diagnosis, he continues to fight the cancer diagnosis. However, through everything, he decided to give back and to make a difference. John's description of his journey is one of the heart, mind, and soul. And he is grateful to be alive for his family and the community's support. John is the volunteer peer-led facilitator at the Men's Cancer Network at Caring Connections in Bangor at the YMCA. He played a key role in starting the program in 2017, and he's been the lead peer facilitator since that time. John talks about the importance of support, education, and space allowed to share your feelings. Outside this group, he meets with members who need or want to connect further. He is a board member of the Maine Coalition to Fight Prostate Cancer. Helped with the creation of the website and materials for education, which is now on cable television. He attended board meetings and advocates for prostate cancer awareness at a state level. In addition, he has been the speaker at a variety of cancer conferences throughout Maine, and has written articles of his experience as a survivor. He is on the advisory board for the local cancer center at the Christine B. Foundation and worked to bring the first Cancer Survivor Conference to Bangor area. If there is an opportunity to bring cancer patients together, it is in the Bangor region. John would be the one to reach out to because he wants to help make it happen. Through John's second round of treatment, he wanted to ring the bell when he was finished with his treatment at the radiation center that it helped him. His wife made sure on that last day that there was a cowbell for him to ring. John knows the joy of hearing the sound that brought him and now his family, made sure that they had their own bell so that others could ring and hear that sound in the future. John is a true inspiration. His mission to continue to build community of support to those living with cancer. Once again, Jonathan Henry, it is our pleasure from the Dempsey family and Alicia, who is here in spirit, the Dempsey Centers, and the Amgen Oncology to present you the 2020 Amanda Dempsey Award.
Beautiful.
Awesome, awesome description. Thank you, Mary. And actually, let's go ahead and meet John, shall we?
It was just the shock you never want to hear. And you start to think, is this the beginning of the end? This isn't the way I wanted to have my 40s unfold with young children. And I was worried about them. You just think it's not going to happen to you until it does.
Jonathan Henry saw his life flash before him when he learned he had cancer.
I remember thinking, I'm only 44. I thought prostate cancer in my case was an older person's disease.
He and his family had so many questions about his health, their future. He didn't know a lot about prostate cancer at the time, but he did know this.
To be empowered, you need information.
Information from medical experts and those whose lives have also been touched by cancer. The support group he joined would eventually become his purpose.
If I was told that then, I'd be like, okay, well, you have some optimism, some buoyancy.
And he found that optimism using it in his fight against prostate cancer. Despite also suffering a brain aneurysm and then a recurrence of cancer in 2017, his fight continues today. He advocates for patients and survivors of prostate cancer and donates his time to helping to lead the Men's Cancer Network at the Bangor Region YMCA.
Just your fire and your fight.
And that fight for himself and others has caught the attention of Patrick Dempsey and his family.
Using your experience and your wisdom and reaching out to people who are just beginning their cancer journey. And I think that's the most remarkable thing.
Which is why he's receiving an honor named after the matriarch of the Dempsey family.
It's a way of paying tribute to our mom, and also it's a way of keeping her memory alive.
So Jonathan is this year's winner of the Amanda Dempsey Award.
I'm beyond thrilled, but there are many, many people doing this work.
Work to help people in the Bangor area and beyond navigate cancer treatment, and to help them celebrate when they've conquered it.
That community matters to me. I know some men who are alone or they're struggling, and if I can call them and check in, that means the world to me.
Live television.
Truly inspirational. Patrick and Mary, thank you for sharing your mom's legacy with the world. Now, we want to welcome a new guest, Chrissy Penny, who, speaking of new, she's the new development director at the Dempsey Center. Hi, Chrissy. You've got a really important role here, so why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you are here to do?
Absolutely. Well, serving as the development director at the Dempsey Center essentially means I get to work with a dream team. The development team works tirelessly to raise funds for the Dempsey Center, whether that's through a grant opportunity or individual gifts, through corporate partnerships, or through events like the Dempsey Challenge. All the services and programs that we offer at the Dempsey Center are at no cost to clients. So that means that every dollar that we are able to raise goes to support that critical work of helping improve the lives of people impacted by cancer.
Now, this is your very first challenge, and you're also kind of strangely experiencing it as a virtual event, too, for the first time. We've seen anonymous donors really help accelerate fundraising by providing some matching funds. So maybe you can comment on the generosity of these special people and how it's really motivated fundraising all over the place this year, right?
Absolutely. It's humbling and heartening when someone reaches out to the Dempsey Center and says, I believe in what you do. I want to help. I want to make a gift. And just as one example, we had a donor who wanted to remain anonymous do just that. She wanted to make a gift in honor of her brother and a dear friend who passed from cancer. And well, we wanted to carry that inspirational support forward. So her gift became a challenge match. We had 2 double-year donation days where funds raised by Dempsey Challenge participants were matched by her incredible support. And it's just a fantastic example of the way that generosity inspires. And we are so grateful to our anonymous donors, to all of our donors for their support and for their belief in the work that we're doing at the Dempsey Center.
Yeah, and boy, we'd be remiss if we did not mention our friends at Poland Spring, too, who announced a $100,000 match for this weekend. How did that come about? Maybe tell us a little bit about the details on that.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were overjoyed when Poland Spring shared that they wanted to make a challenge match gift. They've been a longtime supporter and a wonderful partner. And so starting with Dempsey Challenge weekend all the way through until our fundraising deadline, 11:59 p.m. on September 30th, when we as a Dempsey Challenge community raise that $100,000, Poland Spring will match that with a $100,000 gift. And friends, we are so close to hitting that goal together. So if you have already given, thank you, and thank you again. And if you have not, I invite you to visit dempseychallenge.org and you can make a gift of any size. We'd be so grateful and thank you for considering it.
And it's great to have you on board, too. We just want to say, I know you're going to be a huge success. Thank you, Chrissy, very much. It's been amazing to watch the outpouring of support all weekend long, all month long, really. There's no doubt that participating in a fundraising event during COVID is quite the undertaking. But you all out there have been able to take on the challenge. We have witnessed some pretty serious perseverance during 2020. In fact, right now, let's take a look at some of our current top fundraisers. We'll check out the overall fundraising and see where things stand. Okay, so the most donors goes to David Gervais. He's always way up there every year. He had 398 donors this year. David, thank you, thank you, thank you. The most team members, no surprise here, Team Amgen. They had 88 people. The top friends and family team, Be the Miracle team, we talked about them earlier too. They raised $52,000. The top corporate team, we love them every year, Concentra. They raised over $36,800. The top small business team, the folks in Cape Porpoise at Musette, $32,400 and still going, so thank you guys there. The top youth fundraiser, Ethan Healy from Team Marcy Strong. He raised more than $13,000 and he's still going. And back to David Gervais, because he's our top individual fundraiser again this year. He is in the top spot right now with $21,200, but you know he's going to keep going right up until the end. And lastly, we have to announce the official winner of the College Cup for 2020. That is Bates College this year, so you Bobcats, congratulations to you. Everybody worked so hard for the challenge this year, and we really, really wanted to honor everybody who contributed.
It's been truly amazing to see not only the creativity of our participants, but also the creativity of our fundraisers. We've seen carpool karaoke, we've seen online yard sales, virtual happy hours, e-racing, many other ways that Dempsey Challenge participants have found ways to get it done.
Yeah.
Patrick, fundraising is difficult at the best of times, and especially challenging this year. But as you know, we have a truly dedicated group who've done an amazing job enrolling their communities to support them. How impressed are you by this year's group of virtual challenges?
Really impressed and just really inspired and moved. It's hard to really put into words how it makes you feel. But it just shows you what a remarkable community, what a remarkable state. The generosity in this state is just the tradition of giving back and taking care of each other. They give you your independence, but if there's a crisis, they're immediately there. And to come from this community, to see the support that the community has given this center, it just makes you want to work harder. And I think it inspires the staff and everybody. If I can speak for the entire team, we thank you for that. It really inspires us and keeps us on track. And what a year, you know, it's really something. You never know what's going to happen. Life is about change and being able to adapt. And I have to say the staff, the community, everyone has done a phenomenal job and has made it possible for us to keep our doors open, to keep these services coming in a new way. And I can't wait to see everybody next year in person so we can give each other hugs, because we miss each other and I miss you all. And great job, guys, really, everybody.
Yeah, it has been so great to see. And as a new Mainer, I've felt that love. I've felt the embrace from all of you. So very, very grateful for that. Now let's talk about where fundraising sits at this very moment, starting with a very special group of our fundraisers, our Champions for Hope. Now these folks have raised at least $3,000, and currently we have 50 people who are champions, and they've met their target thus far.
Yeah, now each $3,000 plus fundraiser will be invited to an exclusive Champions for Hope virtual event. And as a reminder, the final fundraising deadline is a minute before midnight on September 30th, so there is still time to join this exclusive group. And we mentioned earlier that our goal for 2020 was to raise $1.5 million, and we are pretty proud to announce that the total currently stands at $1.1 million. So let's keep pushing here to hit that goal by the time we close this out. And Patrick, any final words for this special group of participants this year?
You know, I think just to thank you very much for your time, your energy, your commitment, your creativity, and your heart. Really, we are so grateful for that and inspired by that.
Very well said. So Patrick, thank you so much. And on behalf of all of us at the Dempsey Center, Travis, myself, everybody behind the scenes, everyone, the staff, all you volunteers, and everybody who raised a ton of cash. Keep raising it, but thank you very much. This has been a historic Dempsey Challenge, and remember, nobody beats cancer alone. It takes a team, and we are proud to have you on the team. Thank you so much for taking part. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and have a nice evening.